And so even just to show the connection, and actually I could probably just do on that one there, but so like it's within your SOLIDWORKS environment that you even start your SIMULIA study. So it's like it's integrated in there. And so if I was starting a brand new study from this one here, I just click on my environment that's already kind of saved and done what it needs to do behind the scenes. I don't even know exactly what it does behind the scenes, but it works. So,
That's such a good point to point out to SOLIDWORKS users. You actually don't ever have to use a web browser. For like all of the
yeah,
stuff you do with 3D Experience, with data management simulation, you can just do everything here in SolidWorks and in your sim tool, and like you never actually have to hit the web.
exactly. Usually I'll go to the web just to launch the softwares from there. Just make sure it's logged in. Make sure things are connected there. But really, you don't have to. It's like, hey, if you can log into a web browser and click a couple buttons, I think then you can just do everything in your UI. So it's nice because there's a lot of capabilities there with the
Yeah, I
with
mean,
kind of the data management there, but you don't have to really understand it to do the sim on
I
it there.
know,
Like I said, you can open it up and call it a good time.
I know we're like a little tangent from sim here, but this task pane on the right that you're showing is actually running Chromium embedded framework. It's basically a Chrome browser running inside of SolidWorks in the task pane. It's pretty wild.
Exactly. So yeah, it's nice on here. So it's like, hey, I'm doing this sim, and then like the Simulia one, this mechanical scenario creation. That's just saying, hey, let me start a new simulation, link to my CAD geometry, and then let me just get the power of Simulia in there. And so that just automatically kind of links things, which is pretty nice. Ooh, wants me to
Gotta
allow
allow
access
it
on the
through.
network. Have to allow it through. No, that's great on there. So it pulls it up, and like you had mentioned before, it's kind of that data connector. Oh yeah, and I already had set up. Just wanted to show kind of that new process on there. But it's like, hey, I have that exact geometry on here.
Oh yeah,
Start
he'd
setting
be
up my
like
new
a one
simulation.
from fresh. I got you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one fresh on here, and yeah, and yeah, maybe I'll initialize it, but I won't. I'll go to the finished one on there with it. But yeah, but it's connected. So hey, I go back and I change my geometry in SolidWorks. I have to do a refresh here on this side. The global refresh was called, but hey, updates. You don't have to redo anything on that front, so it makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We don't have to kick it. I don't have to save it as step and email it to an analyst or whatever who's gonna email back,
Exactly.
oh, change this, send me a new step, or just change it on their side. Like, I mean, I like having the full control, and of course, I don't want any tools that are disconnected like that. So, yeah, this has been a real
Exactly.
game changer for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. It's great. And yeah, so I mean, we're here in the Simuli environment of what we're doing here. Like I said, kind of connected to that CAD file. Now things look a little bit different, but we have some familiarities. Like, hey, our exact geometry and the name that we had it there in SolidWorks is on it there, and even some of our structure and the stuff that's in there is with it. So hey, it's that geometry now. But you just kind of have a lot more control over your simulation setup and what you're doing there. And I'll I don't know. I could do a couple things. I could set this one up from scratch just because we're doing it on there, just kind of be able to talk about them, or just talk about some high level on here. I don't
It's,
know.
I
Both
mean,
both
yeah, it's
work.
not a huge simulation. I don't want to make you do all the clicks, but I feel like most of the major sections here are like interesting to me. Like the first, I was thinking you brought the shapes over essentially the geometry, but then I noticed you applied the material here. Probably still have the Mooney Rivlin options, but it seems like you always have a lot more material options over in the Simulia side.
Yeah, no, it's true. Because your materials, I mean, if it's a material model out there, I mean, Abacus is kind of known for those material models, and I can even show some of the show the ones on here. So yeah, it's like material definition is where you kind of create and manage your materials. So in this one, it's like, all right, we
Oh yeah.
have our different ones on here. With it, okay, there's a different coefficients for my hyperelastic materials, but it's like you look even down this list of the different kind of material types that you have on there, and I'll maybe even expand them. It's like, all right, you got, similarly your rock and soil, your concrete, your foam, your paperboard, which actually the paperboard is new, I think, within the past like week or two on there, and they have like a material calibration to like get it for your cardboard and stuff on there, so it's kind of cool.
Very
But
cool. Yeah.
they're always adding to this, but it's like, man, maybe you're not using this on every day, but just like what it can do and how it's able to accurately represent these materials, like it is wild. Like, yeah, because simulating some of these with your material models just not possible in your nonlinear solver and SOLIDWORKS
Oh
simulation
yeah,
on it
absolutely.
there.
And I like having one material with multiple behaviors where you say, oh, right now we're going to run a linear static analysis. Later I'm going to run nonlinear. Now I want to use hyperelastic, and you can just have those assigned kind of developed under the same material.
Exactly. Same material. And yeah, like you said there, different behaviors of just saying, hey, yeah, this one's my linear, this one's my nonlinear, so you can include the different effects when you want them there. So it's nice. But I'll say people sometimes see the UI here and like, man, this is a lot different than SolidWorks on here with it. It's like, hey, is this
That's
overwhelming?
fair.
It's like, all right, there's a lot going on because it can do a lot on there, but but you only really use what you need to on there. But
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet. It's
Well,
pretty sweet.
for me, I was definitely intimidated coming into this, but I noticed in most situations, like when you get in the solver settings and stuff, the defaults are pretty much where they should be if you don't know. And then, the next step on here actually may be simpler. Like you get done with materials, you start looking at connections. I'm imagining you still need to deal with that bonded connection where things are tied together, but normally our default connection deals with contacts between geometries as they hit each other.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I guess for anyone familiar with Abacus on there, the general contact was doing there. It is so cool how they implement. They were kind of like yeah, Abacus was the first people to implement that and is really I guess yeah led the train of what's doing there. But it's basically like, hey, set up general contact anywhere that might come in contact, take into account, and it's pretty efficient because normally, like on a SolidWorks simulation model, if you manually set up contacts between like basically every single possible face on there, it's like, hey, that's gonna slow down your solver. It's gonna be checking for stuff on there, but
Right.
they've implemented it so well that it's great on there. It's like you set up general contact and you're simulating a full car crash, like hey, all of that like folding in upon itself, the crushing and whatever comes on there, it's like it's just yep, it's taken care of with there. Like
Yeah.
I'll go into my setup and it's literally
You
yeah
got
like
one interaction
one
list on
button,
there.
general contact, and then you can set up a like a contact property. Say, hey, here's my friction. Here's like I mean something I want on there. But that's um, yeah, but that's some of the main things there. So not too bad,
Yeah,
not too
that's
bad.
powerful. Like even when I look at these, I thought like, output requests. I don't know if you develop those, but for me, I use the default ones that are there. Um, and so yeah, I think a lot of times in this software, the default, or even if you use one of the wizards that steps you through, can enable somebody like myself to start coming from SolidWorks into here and you know be able to set these things up.
Yeah, no, 100% there. Yeah, because and even just looking at the tree over here on the left of kind of what it is there is that yeah, like you said, the request there, and let's take a look. Is there one on the other side? No, it's loading something. Oh, some of my general contact on there. Yeah, so general contact I clicked on there, but literally, hey, general contact. You can it has some options, but like Philip said on there, the default on there. I once had yeah, someone who's been in the Abacus side, basically since it was first there, 30, 40 years ago on there, says like, hey, unless you have a really good explanation to explain to a simulation expert about why you're changing some of these defaults, don't on it there. And like it's like hey, that's a good rule of thumb. Which
Fair.
there's some rule of thumb sometimes you do on there, but yeah, general contact is sweet.
Okay. So your general
But
contact took care of most of that after materials. Maybe you made the one interaction for where they're bonded together. Maybe I skipped, which may come in the model portion. How you got this mesh? Because I noticed the mesh is not tetrahedral here, like you probably
yeah,
use in SolidWorks.
exactly. Yeah, so we have a hex mesh here on what's doing, which yeah, you have options to these different material types, which brings the question like, hey, why does it even matter on there for these mesh types on it? And it comes down to is like, hey, first off, when you have a more structured mesh on there, you get better results with less elements on it, and there's just kind of a more efficient element. Like, hey, I get a better bang for my buck. I'm on it there. It's like, hey, same amount of elements over here compared to tetrahedrals. Is that hey, you're going to get a more converged result with them. So it's nice, yeah. So some of these swept mesh, you see, I still have like my two elements going through the thickness, but a
Oh
very
yeah.
nice looking mesh there with it, and so it's um Yeah, so it's good on there, but yeah,
That I
really
mean
just
that is something that the SolidWorks users have been asking for I would say decades now. To
yeah.
have more mesh elements and hex meshes, brick element types. Pretty desirable.